Yeah, so we're at the Gs Trophy Qualifier, which essentially is a long bank holiday weekend filled with a bit of riding, a bit of navigation, some challenges, a bit of competition, and what it is an event based on the road and off-road. So it's for all GS owners. They can come down here for a long weekend, get out in the Welsh countryside, bit of camaraderie, bit of competition, and it consists of riding on the Sunday, and you do some on-road riding full of all these different challenges, and then you do a bit of off-road in the afternoon, and all that is to get through to the final, which takes place on the Monday, where the sort of real off-roaders kind of do their best to get as many points as they can to get a final spot in Team UK for the GS Trophy, which this year is going to be in New Zealand.
So Tony, is this the first time you've done something like this?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Have you done any off-road riding before?
No.
So do you know what you're going to be doing over here on the
I've
weekend?
seen a few clips and thought, oh dear.
Oh dear, all right. Do you know what to expect over the next couple of days?
Okay, I looked on your internet, but
No idea.
It can be everything.
So what made you want to come and do something like this?
Somebody dropped out and I got offered to come up.
So you had no choice, really?
No. Chris, did I have a choice? No, I didn't have a choice.
We've not done it before, so I've got no idea what to expect. But yeah, should be a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Trip to Wales is worth it.
So you haven't been looking at videos and swatting up on what you might be doing?
Should we have done?
No.
Oh dear.
Yeah, we're not sort of. We want to be able to ride our bikes back home. That's sort of the criteria of successful weekend.
I've spoken to one guy who has no idea. Who someone dropped out and he's just turned up. I've also spoken to 20 Dutch guys who've just turned up who are very competitive.
Yeah.
They're talking about training, talking about riding bikes in gardens, and they reckon they're going to be in the top 3.
The reason for being here, just the qualification for the International GS Trophy. So we're taking part with 20 competitors to make sure that we get the best 3 participants out of it.
Well, success for us is no broken bones, bike intact, and that's it. That'll do.
We did see people with laptops out planning the routes and everything else over there, but we've just been drinking beer, so it's like.
Yeah.
Been riding 3 years, and here to do the GS Trophy again. Hopefully qualify for it.
How many times have you done it?
Just last year was the first time. I've got a bit of a history of accidents, so.
You sound like me.
Yeah, great.
Myself and Stewie did the event last year, and we're back for another do. See if we can get a seat to New Zealand.
And the challenges that you do along the way, what sort of things did you do before?
So last year we had, if you imagine a hillside in a woodland with ropes going down the hillside, blindfolded, cup of water. And then as a team you had to get everyone round the network of ropes, retaining as much water as you can in the cup. Most water wins.
I thought I was going to come ride motorbikes, right? But clearly there's a lot more to it than that.
I only passed my test last March. I got an F700 GS, and then I upgraded to an R1200 GS Rally within 6 months. I did the rookie to rider scheme with BMW, and I've not looked back since. So it was one of my goals on my bucket list to come and do GS Trophy, and I didn't think I would be doing it this soon. So I'm really looking forward to the weekend.
Well, especially for the 20 participants, they are riding a lot of off-road, They have done a lot of practicing in the last weeks.
So it's a serious team.
Yeah, it's no game.
So what are you used to riding? What's your typical riding style?
Motocross. Motocross is my type of riding. So except street bikes, I do Harley Davidsons, BMWs, KTMs, everything. But for fun, I do motocross.
And how much time have you spent on the big BMWs?
Enough.
We got a basic understanding, but I think there's still some surprises left for tomorrow and Monday.
Because so far everyone I've spoken to has no idea. Everyone's like, it's a mystery, right? It's a complete mystery. They know that something's going to happen off-road. They know they're on a BMW, but beyond that they're not sure. But you guys seem to know what's happening.
We seem to know.
We
seem to know, but we're up for the challenge.
I think when you have to train the last month, you're too late. Training starts years ago.
So how did you get involved with the team, Pete?
I just saw it pop up on the internet, and I thought, okay, I have to do this.
So you thought I can win?
Yeah, I don't know. Winning is nice, but that's not the main thing.
That's what everyone who wants to win says, right?
Because this event is aimed at levels, you know, all riders and all sort of talent levels for both road riding and off-road riding. We want to make it as kind of a friendly experience as possible. So if you want to do the challenges all on the road, you can go get some clues and basically get as many points as you can that way, or you can take an off-road route and you essentially get given the answer. So it depends on if you're sort of, you know, want to go challenge yourself and ride off-road, you can do so. So there's kind of a bit for everyone. But the type of challenges, we can't reveal what this year is yet, because you're going to find that out tomorrow when you do the riding. But some of the challenges might include, you know, learning how to take a wheel off a bike and then putting it back on again, or riding around a mountain bike course in your full riding gear. So it's not ultra serious stuff, you know, it's kind of half technical, half a bit of fun. And again, as I said, it's, you know, the idea is to get outside here on a nice bank holiday weekend. We've been really lucky, it's nice and sunny in Wales, which so far doesn't happen very much. But yeah, the idea is very much for, you know, for GS owners to not feel intimidated and think, I don't do much off-road riding. You know, they can come down, they can have a really good time, whatever their ability level.
Today was a really fun day. I started out thinking I might lose the will to live in the rain, trudging along thinking just how long is this day going to take? Not knowing what was around the corner, I was wondering whether I might actually enjoy the rest of the day today, but things just got better. You could imagine in the sunshine, the scenery that we were riding through would have just been majestic. It was very, very cold, very wet, very dismal, very grey cloud. And sort of riding along thinking, I wonder how much more of this I can take. I was cold and wet. Did I say I was wet? Anyway, basically things just got better. We got to our first challenge. The first challenge was something that you would do on some sort of a level 1 training course. So we did a slalom through some cones. We did some manual maneuvering of a bike, sort of standing next to it, reversing it and parking it. And then we did a U-turn. So it was quite basic stuff, but it did catch a few people out. Moving on to the next stage, we were sort of following essentially a road book, which sort of said go so far, you know, so many miles, turn left, turn right, etc. And then you'd sort of come along to a sort of point where you'd have to pick up a clue. Everyone would sort of scramble around and see if we could pick the clue up, write the clue down, and off we'd go again. Second challenge when we arrived was to look at a number of photographs of people in quite exotic locations doing some sort of adventure, and we had to sort of match up the pictures with where we thought these people had been. And then moving on from there, the weather started getting a little bit better, so that was a relief. We rode a little bit off-road, which was quite exciting because you know, it was muddy and damp and puddles to jump through and really enjoyable. And when we sort of got through to the end of the section, we got to a forest section and there were some arrows marked on a tree. So I naturally presumed we would be riding some sort of a course or some sort of enduro course through the forest. Was I wrong? To run through the forest. The arrow markers had things written on, and we had to remember all the way around the numbers based on the different arrows around the forest. So we did it as a bit of a team event, and essentially they timed you from the off and you had to get back, and the clock stopped with the last person. We had a 5-minute time to do this in, and fortunately for us we had some quite quick guys. Sadly a few fell over in the forest and we had to drag them through the mud, but it really wasn't something I was expecting to do today. So fun, it was really good fun. Got the heart pumping, came back sweating like an absolute something.
Well, I live in Cornwall, so I'm used to wet weather, but this was ridiculous. 4 of us set off with 4 maps, only my map anyone could read. So I was riding and trying to navigate for the whole day, which never done that before, which was fun. And we got lost numerous times,
This is the first time that I've ridden off-road today, and so I just wanted to see what it was all about, really.
I wasn't sure if I was wet, cold, and then I realised I was cold and wet.
Cold and wet, and also felt like I might have wet myself at some point.
The off-road course, first time off-roading, and I absolutely loved it.
The most challenging part for me was all of the off-road stuff, so everything in the afternoon. I haven't done any off-road work on a bike before, so everything that I did was new to me, and just learning how to even stand up on the bike was new to me. There was then a navigation exercise which should take 9-10 minutes potentially, and it took me 45-50 minutes.
Yeah, I felt a little guilty there actually.
You passed me.
I saw you stuck in the side, and I thought, do we stop for the teammates or do we spray him with mud? So
spray him with mud, exactly. But I learnt loads by being stuck, by crashing and having to get myself out of that hole, literally.
I attempted all the challenges. I fell off a few times, but anyone that's thinking about trying it, just have a go, because you will enjoy it.
Obviously there's lots of different individual skills that I have learnt, but the biggest thing that I've learnt is actually it's just about, for me, getting out there and doing it, putting it all together. Don't care if you're the best, the worst. For me, it's about getting out and giving it a go.
Did you have fun?
Loved it. Big smile.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank
no
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you learn anything today?
Yeah, 1250s are heavy.
Went through some lovely little lanes which were just so picturesque, and by this point I had forgotten all about the rain. It didn't worry me at all that I was wet. I was just having an absolute blast riding through these little lanes, and just the bike came to me. It was fun just playing around with sort of weighting the foot pegs a little bit and just sort of cruising through these little lanes, and just visually was just majestic. The final challenge we got to was kind of what I've been looking forward to. So it was a skills test, which was an off-road section, which had all sort of manner of things that they asked us to do. So one of the things we needed to do was drive a bike or ride a bike where the throttle had been taped to one particular spot. So you only could ride using the clutch. It was super muddy, and you had to sort of change gear, do a lot of clutch control, ride through a whole muddy section, go over a few humps and bumps, ride around a cone and head back, and they timed you on that. So that was quite fun. You could also sort of pedal along if you needed to, anything you needed to get yourself going faster. There was another section, was like a bit like a maze, a log maze. You had to ride through very, very tight section and try not to put your foot down. So each time you put your foot down, there was some sort of penalty imposed. Another thing was a hill climb. So initially it was quite difficult to get some momentum going, because you had to sort of bunny hop over a couple of logs, then go through over a hump through a water challenge, and then try and get some momentum before you sort of shoot up this hill. And on the way up the hill, they had sort of markers, and the further up you got would then demarcate what sort of score you got up the hill. So that was really good fun. That was just like so amazing fun. And then there was another time trial where you had to run to your bike, jump on, start it, ride between these tires, quite a tight circular course, which narrowed in places, which caught a few people out. And then you got, again, there were penalties for any sort of crash or bumping of tires or anything like that. You race to the end. If you got a clear run, you had to jump off the bike and run and touch a post. And again, you had to do that within a certain time, and try not to impose any sort of penalty points on yourself. Mostly it was just slow riding skills, getting to grips with the bike in all sort of conditions, and it was really quite interesting to see the level of skill and experience that were there. So you had brand new people going out there tackling all of these things and just having an absolute blast, and you had others who were very experienced, and you could tell. So it became very competitive very quickly, but overall just an amazingly fun day.